I went on a road trip for around 2.5 weeks, camping in my car for about a third of the time, and I want to share a few things I learned doing it. To get started, you have to look at what you're wearing. It got below freezing at night when I was sleeping, so I wore my hiking boots, long pants, a sweatshirt, and even a hat and gloves to give myself a solid baseline of warmth. Then I would sleep in the front passenger seat so I wouldn't have to deal with the wheel or pedals. I put up covers on the windows for privacy and what I like to think was a tiny bit of insulation from the cold. Once I was in there, I would have 2 blankets, a bigger one and then a smaller one to put where I got coldest at night. Then I would just recline it all the way back, and even with my little over 6-foot frame, I felt like I had just enough space to stretch out a bit. I also had this nice portable car jump starter that triples as a charger and light, which comes in handy since you don't want the car running all night. The first night I slept in here, I did pop down the back seat, had a mat, and extended my legs into the trunk to lay down. I think this could work great during the spring or summer, but during the winter it gets way too cold too quickly having the trunk area open to the rest of the car, and there was also a bump between the cabin and trunk that hit a spot on my hip that made me feel like I was 90 years old the next day, so it wasn't for me. Then for the all-important location of your camping, I highly recommend choosing a campsite if you can. I slept at a rest stop a couple nights, and while they had security cameras, lights, and bathrooms, the frequent coming and going of trucks and other vehicles not only made it quite a bit noisier, but also gave the impression that anyone at any time could mess with me or my car and easily speed away down the highway. The campsites always felt the opposite since there's a lot less traffic, and there was a sense that everyone was undoubtedly there for the same purpose, and rational or not, because of it, they were much less likely to mess with anything that isn't theirs. Campsites can still be inexpensive while offering basic amenities like bathrooms, showers, and common areas. For example, I booked a night at El Cosmico in Marfa, Texas through HipCamp at $35.99, including tax, slept in their parking lot, and got to make use of their indoor bathroom and cozy common area with Wi-Fi and coffee in the morning. It's not always a given that these things will be indoors, but again, there was just always a better vibe and it felt safer at a campsite, which is huge, especially when everything you have at the moment is in your car and you get a little extra protective. Overall, this is an economical and honestly fairly comfortable way to travel once you get used to it, especially if you have a bigger vehicle. Just be smart about it. Now off to see what other interesting things I can find on the road.